The FIFA World Cup begins on November 20 with a match between the host Qatar and Ecuador. After a gap of 20 years, the mega event is again being organized in an Asian country. In 2002, South Korea and Japan jointly hosted the tournament. The decision to award Qatar hosting rights for the 2022 World Cup was marked by controversy, including allegations of corruption and human rights violations since it was first announced 12 years ago. Here is a look at some of these issues. Traditionally, FIFA World Cup matches are held during summers, but extreme hot summers in Qatar were a hurdle, and the organizers, at the recommendation of the governing body, shifted the tournament to November December. This definitely was a problem for European clubs who traditionally conclude their season during May, and it automatically creates space for the tournament in busy calendars of both players and the clubs. Due to this schedule change, European leagues will pause their 2022-23 campaigns to allow players to compete in the World Cup. The US Department of Justice has alleged that bribes were paid to secure votes when the hosting rights for the tournament were awarded 12 years ago. Suspicion and rumors have long surrounded both the 2010 vote by FIFA's executive to hand the 2018 World Cup to Russia and the 2022 tournament to Qatar, and prosecutors set direct formal allegations regarding both tournaments down in an indictment in 2020. The organizers of the 2022 World Cup have strongly denied allegations. Qatar 2022 CEO Nasser Al Khater told reporters when the Middle East country marked a year to go for the tournament that Qatar had been unfairly treated and scrutinized for a number of years. Qatar has faced intense criticism from human rights groups over its treatment of migrant workers who, with other foreigners, comprises bulk of the country's population. A 48-page report by Amnesty Reality Check 2021 said that the practices such as withholding salaries and charging workers to change jobs were still rife despite labor reforms in 2014. The football associations of 10 European nations, including England and Germany, have pushed FIFA to take action to improve the rights of migrant workers in Qatar. The government of Qatar said its labor system was still a work in progress, but denied allegations in the report that thousands of migrant workers in 2022 World Cup host nation were being trapped and exploited. Homosexuality is illegal in Qatar, and some soccer players have raised concerns for fans traveling for the event, especially lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender individuals and women, who right groups say Qatari laws discriminating against. Khalid Salman, a Qatar World Cup ambassador and former international player, reportedly said that homosexuality was damage in mind, and anyone coming to Qatar for the tournament should accept our rules here. The Australian soccer team has spoken out against Qatar's record on human rights and same-sex relationships, while Denmark's player will travel to the tournament without their families as a protest against the country's human rights record. The Qatar World Cup is the first to be held in a Muslim country with strict controls on alcohol, presenting challenges for the organizers of an event sponsored by a beer brand and often associated with beer drinking fans. The country will let ticketed fans buy beer at matches starting 3 hours before kickoff and for 1 hour after the final whistle, but not during the match. They will also have areas for drunk fans to sober up, with tournament chief executive Nasser Al Khater saying the move was to make sure fans were safe and not harmful to others or themselves. These things are bothering everyone, including the global football governing body, FIFA. The association has written to World Cup teams urging them to focus on football in Qatar and not let sport be dragged into ideological or political battles.